नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देकं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सकगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सकगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita every day. So we are in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We finished 17 slokas. So we just have to finish 3 more slokas to finish the 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga, the devotional service. So in this chapter now, Krishna is actually listing all the qualities we need to gain so that Krishna can like us, basically, so that we can become dearer to Krishna. So that's what we are studying right now. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is very specific. Everything, whatever Krishna is teaching us, very, very specific, and Krishna is giving us the clear direction like what we should do. There is no confusion at all. In fact, this knowledge itself was given by Krishna to Arjuna because Arjuna was completely under confusion. Dharma sammuda chetaha. So he was not able to think at all. So he was completely bewildered, completely confused. So in that kind of status, in that kind of state, so Krishna gave this knowledge which made him, which made Arjuna to understand everything very, very clearly. There was no confusion at all after getting this complete knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That's why Nashto Moha. So my illusion is gone. And Krishna also asked Arjuna that Ajnana Sambhutam, so which is arisen due to your ignorance. So all those confusions, have they gone? That's what Krishna is asking. Kachit Ajnana Sammohaga. Ajnana Sammohaga. So Ajnana Sammohaga means the confusion which are due to ignorance, due to Ajnana. So are they dispelled? That's what Krishna is asking. So that way, this Krishna is giving us very clear directions. There is no room for any confusion or doubts in this knowledge. And it is the purest knowledge. It is the time-tested knowledge. It is the same knowledge all the time. This Bhagavad Gita, there is no change at all. So we just have to get this knowledge fully. That's what we are doing every day. We are making a great progress, excellent progress, and we are understanding all these slokas. We understood in the previous chapter, in the Vishwarupa, in the Krishna's universal form, we understood everything so clearly, very nicely. In 55 slokas, in the Vishwarupa, Krishna's universal form, we understood how Krishna's universal form looks like. In fact, Arjuna, after seeing Krishna's universal form, Arjuna explained to Krishna how his universal form looked like. So in the slokas 16th to 30th sloka, about 16 slokas in the 11th chapter, we understood very, very clearly how Krishna's universal form looks like. So now also in this 12th chapter also we are understanding very clearly why it is important to worship Krishna as a person. because Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Krishna is the supreme person. So we need to worship that supreme person as a person. That's what is very important. Because our path is going to be very fast, very quick. We will go to Krishna immediately if we take this path. Otherwise, it's going to be taking forever. It's going to be very difficult, very troublesome. So that way, Krishna is teaching us that this is so quick. Nachirena adhigacchati, without any delay. Yoga yukto munir brahma, nachirena adhigacchati. In the 5th chapter itself, Krishna said very clearly, Yoga yukto munir brahma, nachirena adhigacchati. If you are engaging in this yoga, if you are doing your activities, karma, if you do everything as an offering unto me, then without any delay, you will come to me. That's what Krishna is saying. The same thing Krishna said in the 12th chapter also. Tesam aham samuddarta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha mayyavesita chetasam. So those who are always focusing their mind upon me, those who are always engaged in worshipping me, so for them, I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of material birth and death. So that's why Tesam aham samuddarta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha mayyavesita chetasam. So that way, Krishna saves us very quickly. Kshipram bhavati dharmat. So if we depend on Krishna, if you fully depend on Krishna, so then Krishna's help, Krishna's mercy, we will be able to receive, and Krishna will save us very quickly from this material wealth. So that's what is going to happen to all of us, because we are believing in Krishna. We know that everything is carried out, everything is done only by Maya, the 3 modes of material nature. And Maya is forcing us to act because we are forgetting Krishna and we are attaching ourselves to material sense objects. So that's why we are coming under the control of Maya. So when we get this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, that's what we are getting. Every day we are getting, every day we are progressing and we are understanding. It's a great achievement. Now we have come, we have studied up to like the 12th chapter. We are going to finish the 12th chapter tomorrow, which has got only 20 slokas. So we finished already 17 slokas. Today we are going to study 2 slokas together, 18 and 19. So then by tomorrow, 20th sloka, if we finish the 12th chapter, we will finish. So this is one of the smallest chapter. So that way we are able to make a very, very fast progress in this effort to understand this Bhagavad Gita, in this Jnana Yajna. So this is the Yajna, this is the Jnana Yajna. So if you are able to participate in this Yajna every day, so we are able to get this knowledge by Krishna's mercy. So that way everything is becoming very clear to us. Otherwise, in this material world in general, sometimes people say that if you go and ask anything or if you say anything, they simply say that go to hell. So that's what they say. Go to hell. So in reality, actually, if you are attached to material sense objects, if you have greediness, so if you have this lust, anger and greediness, everything, kama, krodha and lobha, so actually we are going to hell only. That's what Krishna is teaching. In the 15th chapter, Krishna is saying that they will go to hell, because Krishna is teaching us that in the 16th chapter, Krishna is teaching us that Trividam Narakasedam Dwaram Nashanam Atmanaga Kama Krodaga Tata Lobaga Tasmat Yeta Trayam Tejet. So Kama, Krodha and Lobha, these are all the 3 gateways to hell. So in reality, if we are not devotee of Krishna, if we are not having the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, unfortunately the gates for hell are widely open for us. We are going to hell actually. So that is the fact, that is the reality. Even in this material world, this life itself, in this material world, taking repeated birth, old age, disease and death in this material world, it is like hell only. We are suffering, we are struggling in this material world like hell. So we need to realize, we need to understand this fact that this is hell, this material world is a hell. So we need to go to Krishna's way, Goloka. So all these things are going to be possible with what we are doing right now, studying Bhagavad Gita, understanding Bhagavad Gita. So following what Krishna is teaching us in this Bhagavad Gita. So then we are going to make many, many devotees. Krishna is going to give us clear directions in our life, how to serve Krishna, how to use this human life very effectively, very efficiently. And on the top of that, we will not be focused, we will not be thinking about material sense objects. So we are not after material results because we really don't care about anything in this material world. We only care about pleasing Krishna. That's it. We want to only please Krishna. Krishna is our supreme Lord. Krishna is our supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So we need to do everything only to serve Krishna, to please Krishna. So that way, when we are highly motivated to serve Krishna with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, like Arjuna, who was motivated to fight for Krishna. So like that, if we are highly motivated to serve Krishna, so then we will be focusing in our life every day, all our energy and efforts, everything only in the service of Krishna. We will be spending all our energy and efforts only in the service of Krishna, in studying Bhagavad Gita, connecting with Krishna. So that way, without any doubt, we know that Krishna is the supreme personality of God. Nobody can change us. No one can change us at any point of time. Our faith on Krishna is very, very strong philosophically, scientifically. This is the scientific knowledge. This Bhagavad Gita is the scientific knowledge. Scientifically, we have got a very, very strong faith on Krishna. So nobody can shake this faith. It is impossible. So because this is because of the knowledge we are getting and we are enjoying this knowledge. Susukkam kartam. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge can be joyfully performed. So all these things are happening because we love Krishna. We love Krishna. We have faith on Krishna. That's why we are getting this knowledge. So Krishna is just asking us that you just give me a leaf, flower, fruit or water with love and devotion. I shall accept it. I will accept it. That's what Krishna is saying us. Krishna is telling us. That patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachadi. So here bhaktya prayachadi. This bhakti is very important. This devotion is very important. So only bhaktya mam abhijanati. So only by devotion only one can understand me. Bhaktya labhyaga ananya. So only with bhaktya, with devotion only one can achieve me. So that's what Krishna is teaching us. So we can understand about Krishna only with the devotion, and we can achieve Krishna only with the devotion, and only being a devotee of Krishna only we can actually go to Krishna's way. So that is very, very clear, period. We know that. It's very clear. So only being a devotee of Krishna only we can go to Krishna's way. Otherwise we cannot go to Krishna's way. Otherwise we cannot free ourselves from this material bondage. Otherwise, we'll keep coming back to this temporary, miserable world. But if you are only devotee of Krishna, so if you are a bhakta, if you are a devotee of Krishna, so then we are going to go to Krishna's way. That's why Krishna is even in the 12th chapter, Yo mad bhaktaga same priyaga. That's what Krishna is saying there. So such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Mad bhaktaga. Bhaktiman me priyo naragam. Bhaktiman. So Bhaktiman means he is a devotee. So that way, we have to be a Bhaktiman. We have to be a devotee. So we have to be a devotee of Krishna. That's why even Krishna teaches in the 9th chapter, in the sloka number 33. So Krishna is teaching us that Kim punar brahmana punyaga bhaktaha raja rishayagastata anityam asukkam lokam imam prapya bachasvamam. So you are being a devotee of me, so you just worship me, having come to this temporary miserable place. Anityam asukkam lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. You worship me. That's what Krishna is teaching. So if we have come to this world, there is no doubt about it. We have got this temporary, miserable, material life, material body, everything. There is no doubt about it. And whatever we are going to achieve, materially speaking, everything is going to be temporary, and everything is going to be gone. All name, fame, all such things. Anything, whatever we get, whatever we achieve, materially speaking, everything will be gone. So, but we have to go to Krishna's well. That's what is very important. So with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we are all going to go to Krishna's well. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, so Krishna is teaching us this Bhagavad Gita. We are becoming devotees of Krishna. So being a devotee of Krishna, so we will go to Krishna's well. That's what is very important. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is teaching us how to be a devotee of Krishna, how to worship him, how to think about him, how to serve him, how to live actually, how to live every day, how to do our activities on a daily basis. So everything Krishna is teaching very, very clearly in Bhagavad Gita. So We just have to follow Bhagavad Gita. So then we are going to go to Krishna's way. So that's what is happening. By Krishna's mercy, causeless mercy, we are studying this Bhagavad Gita. We are able to follow and we are able to progress. We are able to see the change in our life. Every day we are able to see the change, because when we study daily, when we are connected with Krishna, when we are able to study Bhagavad Gita, when we are able to remember Krishna. So this time, every day what we are spending, it's purely Krishna conscious time. So this time is purely we are able to forget about everything in this temporary miserable world. We don't think about anything in this material world at this point of time. At this point of time, we are focusing only on Krishna. Our mind is only connected with Krishna. So that way, by Krishna's mercy, we are able to get the peace of mind. We are able to release this taste, this param drishva. So this superior taste. So we are able to see that. We are able to enjoy. So all these things are possible only with this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. So we have to just become a devotee of Krishna, continue to be a devotee of Krishna and serve Krishna. So then the rest will be taken care very nicely by Krishna. So in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, now Krishna actually is teaching us. Krishna in the sloka number 8 to 13, 8 to 12. So in 5 slokas, Krishna gave us the instructions about you do this. If you are not able to do this, at least do this. If you are even not able to do this, then at least do that. So like that, Krishna gave us a lot of steps. So what we should do. So that point we have to be very clear. So we have to just do that. We have to achieve that. That's what is very important. We need to follow. So now we understand that at this point of time for all of us, we need to serve Krishna. That's what is very important. We need to offer everything to Krishna. We need to give up all the results. We need to give up the attachment to the results and use all the results in the service of Krishna. That's what we are supposed to do. So that point is very clear to us. So if we are doing that, then we are going to become like completely freed from this modes of nature. We are going to go to Krishna's way. So if we are able to do that, so definitely we will be doing that because we are getting this knowledge. So we are getting this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So we will do that. There is no doubt about it. So, but afterwards, Krishna is teaching us all the qualities which will help us actually to become dearer to Krishna. So starting from the sloka number 13 to up to 17 slokas we studied. So Krishna said that in the 13th and 14th sloka, Advesta sarvabhutana maitraga karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraga samadukka sukhaga kshami santustaga satatam yogi yatatma dhrita nishchayaga mayarpita manobuddhir yo madbhaktaga samet priyaga. That's what Krishna taught us. So Advesta sarvabhutanam, so one who is not envious of any other living entities. Maitraga karuna evacha, one who is friendly and kindly to all the living entities. Maitraga karuna evacha. Then Krishna is teaching us that, so mayarpita manobuddhi yo madbhaktaga same priya. So by offering your mind and intelligence unto me, so that such a devotee of me is dearer to me. That's what Krishna is saying then. Nirmamo nirahankaraga. So without claiming for any proprietorship, no ahankara, and samadukka sukha kshami, and being equal in both happiness and distress and forgiving, samadukka sukha kshami. Then Krishna is teaching us that santustaga satatam yogi, so he is always satisfied, and the santustaga satatam yogi yadatma dhrita nishchayaka, one who is self-situated and with great determination, all such things, so he will come to me. That's what Krishna is saying. And in the next sloka, what we studied in the sloka number 15, Krishna said that Yasmat nodvijate loko, lokan nodvijate cha yaha. Harsamarso bayodvegir mukto yasacha me priyaga. So, for a person for whom no one is put to difficulty in this world, and he is not put into difficulty by anyone in this world, so that means he is not disturbed by anyone in this world, and we is equal in both happiness and distress, harsa, amarsa, bayodvegi, so free from the fear and anxiety. So he is such a devotee of mine, is very dear to me. That's what Krishna is teaching there, telling us. Mukto yasacha me priyaga. So then in this sloka number 16 we studied it. Anapekshaga suchirdaksaga udasino gatavyataga sarvaramba parityagi yomad bhaktaga same priyaga. So anapekshaga, a person who is actually neutral and pure and who is expert anapekshaga, suchir daksaga, and then udasino gatavyataga. So udasino, so who is gatavyataga, so who is freed from all the distress, so who is free from care, udasino gatavyataga. Sarvaramba parityagi, who is able to renounce everything. So such a devotee of mine is dearer to me. That's what Krishna is teaching. So then in this sloka 17, what we studied yesterday, Krishna taught us that Yo na grishyati na dvesti na sochati na kankshati subhashubha parityagi bhaktiman same priyaga. So that's what Krishna is teaching us there. So yo na dvesti na kankshati. So yo na krishyati na dvesti. So one who neither rejoices and nor grieves. So that's what yo na krishyati na dvesti na sochati na kankshati. One who neither laments and nor desires. Na sochati na kankshati. Subha shubha parityagi. So is equal in both happiness and distress. So auspicious and inauspicious results. So such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. So now in this sloka number 18 and 19, what we are studying today, Krishna is teaching us that Samaga satrau cha mitre cha tata mana pamanayo sitoshna sukha dukkeshu samaga sanga vivarjitaga tulya ninda stuti mauni santushto yena kenachit aniketaga stiramati bhaktiman me priyo naraga. So that's what Krishna is teaching. So samaga satraucha mitrecha. Satru means enemy, mitra means friend, mitru. So who is equal to both enemy and friend. That's what samaga satraucha mitrecha. Tata mana apamana. So one who is similarly equal in both honor and dishonor. Mana apamana. Sitoshna sukha dukkesu. So like one who is like happiness and distress are like winter and summer seasons. So one is equal in both happiness, cold and hot, summer and also sukha dukkha, happiness and distress. So that's what sitoshna sukha dukkeshu samaga sanga vivarjita. So who is free from all attachments, all association. So who is equal, occupies and free from sanga vivarjitagam. Tulya, tulya also means sama. Sama means equal. So tulya. Tulya ninda stuti mauni. So who is when ninda means when in defamation. So when somebody is blaspheming, so one should be equal, not disturbed. And stuti mauni. So somebody is actually also praising also. So you should not be disturbed. So mauni means who is very silent. So santushtaga yena kenachit. So santushtaga means who is very satisfied with anything. Santushtaga yena kenachit aniketaga. Aniketaga means who doesn't care for any residence. Aniketaga. So stira matir. So stira matir. So means with great determination, with fixed, with steady determination. Stira mati. Matir. So bhaktiman me priyo naraga. Such a devotee of me is very dear to me. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So Krishna is saying that one who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So that way we will achieve same kind of thing, same qualities only Krishna gives when Arjuna asks in the 14th chapter about what are the qualities of a person who is freed from the three modes of material nature. So this sloka number 18 and 19. So the same thing only Krishna gives there also. So that means if we follow this, if we then that means we are freed from the three modes of material nature already. So when Arjuna asked the question, Kairlingai trin gunan etan atito bhavati prabhu kimacharaga katham chaitan trin gunan ativartade. So at that time Krishna also says the same thing. Samadukka sukhaga swastaga samalostasma kanchanagam tulya priya priyo dhiras tulya nindatma samstutihi mana apamanayo tulyaga tulyo mitrari pakshayo sarvarambha parityagi gunatitaga sauchyate. So exactly the same thing Krishna is repeating there also. So that way, if we are able to achieve all these qualities, we are already freed from the three modes of material nature. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we will definitely gain these qualities. There is no doubt when we actually serve Krishna with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, when we spread this message to everywhere. So if we love Krishna, so definitely by Krishna's mercy, we are going to gain all these qualities and going to serve Krishna. There is no doubt about it. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished two slokas today, 18 and 19. So we just have to finish one more sloka to finish the 20th chapter. Hare Krishna. I will stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.